Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whichever time of day it is, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Forged from Iron and welcome to Opposition Recon. I'm Gatesy, your host. Please don't forget to drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure you hit that bell icon to be notified of any new content as and when we upload it to the YouTube channel. So, I've just done an interview with Tommy of TommyTalksBall, the Tottenham fan YouTube channel, and just to get a little bit of analysis and behind the scenes access on things going on at Tottenham Hotspur. So sit back, relax, enjoy the recording, and come on, you irons. Tommy, please introduce yourself to the millions watching.
So basically, I'm the enemy. On this channel. You'll know me as the enemy, but otherwise, I'm Tommy Talks Ball. Mostly Spurs dedicated content, but I do chuck the odd neutral stream in there now and again, and I do want to sort of get over to that. I do want to sort of go over to that level at some stage, but yeah, mainly Spurs dedicated. So you probably won't want to jump over there too often. Even if you subscribe, it's free and it helps your channel out. So that'd be fantastic. But obviously, if you're watching for the first time, not before you subscribe to Gatesy.
Yeah, well, you know, we like to spread the love. I mean, you know, I'm the same as you. I support my team and I make no apologies for it. But I'm very much of the opinion that, listen, we all love football. You know, if we can sort of like have a nice little chat about football, then so much the better. So, guys, you've got it. This will be in the description below on both YouTube and on Facebook. Please do check out Tommy's Talks Ball on YouTube, and you can also follow him on Twitter at Tommy Talks Ball. Tommy, so obviously we've got the match upcoming on Sunday between our two great teams. Just a couple of things I just want to sort of discuss with you, really. So the first question I've got, obviously the season started for you guys with a new manager in place, Nuno Espirito Santo, formerly of Wolverhampton Wanderers, who first three seasons, I think it's fair to say, he got them promoted from the Championship, and then two consecutive seventh place finishes in the Premier League. The season just finished latterly. Didn't quite go so well for him as that, and obviously he's now moved on to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. What were your thoughts when Nuno walked through the door?
Well, see, I talk to a lot of Wolves fans. I do a prediction league on a Wolves channel, actually. So After Spurs, my knowledge seems to be less. I know a lot of Leicester fans and Wolves fans. So they were telling me that even when they finished seventh place, twice on the bounce, the football was negative. It was a negative football, and it's sort of the final season where Nuno lost his job last season, as you say. That's where it come to a head. It was really, really negative. It was like it was Jose Mourinho version 2 almost. And right. I think he looked up to Jose. I think he was a backup keeper at Porto when
he was in 04. Yeah.
So he looked up towards Jose. He's almost like the apprentice. So they play very similar type of football. And the fans, we didn't like the Jose method of football. And so it was always, I was sort of always worried about that. But as you said, look, he came in, won the first 3 games of the season. And so all was looking rosy. But for me, it's just, we need a manager that's going to be on the front foot. We really need a manager that's going to be on the front foot. It's the Tottenham way. Win or lose, we need a manager that's on the front foot. Sort of the first 3 games covered up the cracks, and then we lost to Palace 3-0.
Did have a player sent off, though, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was coming. I mean, we got sent off because we were so far on the back foot. It was inevitable. Once they scored their first goal, you know, the floodgates opened, and the same against Arsenal. Arsenal absolutely battered us. Chelsea beat us 3-0 too. But the last couple of games, we've recovered a little under Nuno. But I'm still not convinced with the man, if I'm perfectly honest.
Do you sort of like see that it's a bit of a strange appointment? I mean, to be honest, I agree with you. I mean, I look at Nuno and I see exactly what you said, a sort of like a sort of slimmed down version of Jose. So it's like, well, then why didn't you just keep Jose Mourinho if you were going to sort of like bring in a sort of like a poor man's Jose? Just keep sort of like the rich man's Jose.
But that's do you know what that is? Do you know what that comes down to? Apparently, he had a £15 million bonus fee had he won the Carabao Cup final, and we sacked him 5 days before the Carabao Cup final. So that's Daniel Levy all over. It's just a rumor.
Wow.
It's just a rumor, but I won't put it past Daniel Levy. It's the way he operates. He loves, he saves every penny as much as possible. But yeah, I wasn't impressed with Nuno. We had 72 days without a manager, and and he was effectively sacked by Wolves. So we're bringing in a manager that was effectively sacked by Wolves, which is not something. We were in the Champions League final 2 years ago. So yeah, it's not. It wasn't. A lot of fans were negative towards the appointment, but we're giving time. We're giving time. He deserves time.
Yeah, and obviously he's made a few signings before the transfer window slammed shut. Are you reasonably pleased with the signings that he's made?
Not particularly. It seems like we've gone for potential in young Gil, who hopefully will be playing tonight. We've got Europa Conference League, I should say, against Vitesse. So he's not starting in the Premier League. In fact, it effectively costs about £30 million because we swapped Lamela as well. There's a lot of money for someone that's not going to be starting. We've got Romero centre back in, very aggressive, too aggressive. Because I do a dissection of the games on a Monday after the Sunday, usually for Sunday fixture for Spurs with the European games, and he's ultra aggressive, and he's going to have to rein it in. He was our big signing. He's the one that everyone was looking forward to. Come from Atlanta, so he's the one that's almost certainly going to be in the first team throughout the season. You'll see him on Sunday for sure. But after that, and Emerson Royal, I suppose, at right back, but he looks really dodgy too. So I wasn't happy with the times over the summer. We needed first team recruitments, real first team recruitments, proven, and we don't seem to have got that. We seem to have got youth players and players that are largely unknown. But January's coming. I can't look. I'm just looking forward to January at this point. Honestly, I'm not that optimistic. I'm not that happy with the signings, to be honest with you.
And the elephant in the room is obviously you had a little bit of a situation with the England captain Harry Kane. Your main, well, he's your main man. There's no other way of putting it. He is the main man at Tottenham. What are your thoughts? Because I mean, I've got quite a few people that are friends, family that are Tottenham fans, and a lot of them are not very happy with Mr. Kane.
See, it's really difficult. It's a tricky one because when he came out and said that, he missed training, he missed a couple of training sessions. The writing was on the wall that he wanted to leave. And look, I can't blame the guy. I really can't blame the guy for wanting to leave. Of course not. He hasn't won a trophy. He's the best striker in the world, one of the best strikers in the world, at least over the last 6 years. Yeah. So he deserves to be winning trophies. The issue is his brother, his agent. You know, they signed a 6-year contract together a couple of years back. His brother's
his agent.
His brother, Charlie Kane's his agent. He may have changed that now. I think he may have changed it in the summer because he's pretty much let him down. Yeah, hasn't he? Because
that must have been an interesting conversation.
Oh, mate, 6-year contract. You've got yourself to blame. You've got yourself. If you sign a 6-year contract, you know, you have to, you can't complain, really. You've got to take responsibility. Harry's got to take responsibility for that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, 3-year contract remaining in the summer. So he has to take responsibility, but I don't blame him because a lot of players have to do this to push moves through, and he deserves to be playing for a club that wins trophies. But he's back now. He's back, and I believe in Harry. I believe in Harry Kane. The last couple of games against Villa, especially, he looked back to his best. I mean, Moura scored a hat-trick in 19 minutes. I know it's only Moura, but come off the bench, scored a hat-trick in 19 minutes. If you give Harry the ball in and around the box, it's a goal, pretty much. But we haven't been supplying him with that ball in the opening games of the season. He was injured early on too. So yeah, for me, and he scored. Of course, he scored in the last game against Newcastle, assisted Son. So I've mentioned floodgates already, but for me, the floodgates are open now, and beware West Ham this Sunday, because I think he's going to bag at least a goal. I think there'll be a lot of goals overall in the game.
He does like scoring against us, to be fair.
He does. He certainly does. So it'll be interesting.
Just come at the wrong time. That's just typical West Ham. Typical.
But mate, honestly, I was looking at our previous fixtures. Oh my God, that 3-3 last year.
Oh, still hurts.
Destroyed me. If we won that game, If we held on and won that game, we'd be sixth. You'd be seventh. We'd be
I was in the pub with my wife. I don't know if you were aware of this. I think I have mentioned it before in our conversations. My wife is a Spurs fan, and we was in the pub, and the pub is the one that my YouTube channel partner Duke runs. So of course he's buzzing around. You know, we're 3-0 down. There's 8 minutes left. We've got faces longer than Rudolf van Nistelrooy, and my wife's sitting there. She's 3-0 up. She's happy as Larry. 8 minutes later, complete switch around. It was just ridiculous. I've never seen a game like it.
I was laying down. I was sort of half asleep by the 75th minute. I was like, "Oh, we've wrapped this up. This is a done game." And then I sort of woke up. Like I didn't mean to doze off, but I dozed off. And I woke up and it was 3-2. Honestly, It was 3-2. And then I just see, literally a minute later, Lanzini put his foot through the ball. I'm like, what an unbelievable strike that was. And it's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah. Then beat us 2-1 in the second fixture. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. But it should be a cracking game.
Yeah, it's usually a good game when our two teams meet. On that, which ahead of the match on Sunday, which are the West Ham players that you are? I don't want to use the word fear, but which West Ham players are you respectful of, wary of? You're sort of aware that they could do you damage, and what are your reasons for that?
So it has to start with Declan Rice. Because I mean, not fear in terms of going at our defence, attacking our defence. Obviously, he's not that sort of player. He's more of a controller, game controller, dictating the tempo. But he's magnificent. Every time I see him play, no disrespect, I think I think it could be there will be a time where he probably wants to leave West Ham unless you start making it to the top four, which it's going to be extremely difficult now. The competitiveness and the quality of the top four. We just had a takeover recently, haven't we? And they're going to be in around there too. We're in the same boat. To be honest with you. We should have Harry Kane, as we just said. But Declan Rice patrolling that centre of midfield. And we talked a little bit off air. And Ben Rama, I had a feeling Ben Rama would have a really good season. I saw him play. Look, it's the Championship. I watch a lot of Championship football. He's great for Brentford. He had season to bed in last year, but he's a baller. He's someone you fear. He really is someone you fear. And Antonio's strength against our back four is weak. It's a shambles, quite frankly. We can see the two against Newcastle, and our defense is a shambles. Overly aggressive in places, and Antonio's strength is going to cause us major problems, without a doubt. So Antonio's going to cause us problems without a doubt. If Ben Rama's on the ball, then I certainly fear him too.
Flipping that on its head, what are the Spurs players do you see as the key to your success in our match on Sunday? And again, what is your reasoning for those players being picked out?
Well, obviously Kane is big time, but if you don't supply him, then it's futile. So we need the supply lines to work with Kane. So Sonny's been our best player this season. He's unbelievable. He's brilliant, isn't he? He's just on another level. He didn't turn up against Newcastle really, so he didn't really. It was one of his weaker games, but he didn't have to because we've got a formidable attack. We've got Kane up there. Ndombele's finally playing in the number 10 position. That's his position behind the striker. We've been playing him in centre midfield. So in his number 10 role, he can sort of make errors, and he does make a lot of errors. But the flip side of that is his attacking prowess can be devastating. It really can. And we've got Lucas having his best season yet. He is something else. Coming through the centre of midfield, he truly is. He's something else. He's a right winger, but he comes inside. So there's a lot of danger in our attack. You should be fearing our attack, but our defence can be got at. Really can be got at. So it should be a good battle between Hojbjerg, Skip, Declan Rice and Souček. That centre midfield battle should be really, really interesting because Skip is up and coming. Hojbjerg and Rice are similar players, so that should be really exciting.
Did I read it right? There was something I saw on social media yesterday, and I'm always mindful that there's an awful lot of information that goes out on social media, and not all of it is necessarily accurate. But I believe it. Did I read it right that 9, I think, of the outfield players that started against Newcastle are not travelling to Vitesse Arnhem?
I've just looked it up in the last half hour or so, and it seems like 11. It's like 11 of them. They say they're certainly not starting, but on some fronts, it's saying they haven't even travelled. You might be right. 9 players may have been the amount that have not travelled. We might have 2 first-team players going, but they probably won't start. So we might have a couple of first-teamers on the bench. So, yeah, you're pretty much going to be, I think West Ham are going to be looking at the same starting 11 that we've put forward against Villa and Newcastle. We kept the same starting 11. You'll probably be, with those players rested, it's almost certain that you will be going with, that same 11 again.
I'm not too sure we're going to be able to rest that many players against Genk. I probably see about 5 or 6 of the starting 11 that took to the field in our last match that will probably be starting against Genk, but I don't think we'll be resting 9, 10, 11 players. It'd be nice, but I just don't think we can afford to do that.
Yeah.
I think we're in a position where, tonight, we could win. If Rapid Vienna win, we've got 9 points at the top of the group, and the other teams are locked on 3 with 3 matches left. And it's like, and if you obviously in the Europa League, if you finish top of your group, you go straight through to the last 16. Whereas if you finish second, you've got to play a playoff round against the teams that drop down from the Champions League. So, I'd like to avoid teams like Barcelona and whatever, if that's all the same to you. Let's just go straight to through to the last 16. That'd be fine.
That's key. But a good thing is, obviously, both are home games, so you can sort of put your first team out, and it will be a lower risk. The fact that we're travelling to Vitesse sort of makes sense that we're putting out a second string.
Absolutely, yeah, that's fair enough. Last question, Tom. For Tottenham Hotspur, beyond the game that we play on Sunday, what are your minimum expectations as far as the season's concerned in terms of league and cup competitions?
Cup competitions are difficult. You can't really predict cup competitions, but you mentioned Europa League. It's the inaugural season for the European Conference League. And do you know what? Look, Roma are involved. There are some, relatively big teams in there, and then you've got some unknowns like Mura. So it's a mix up there.
I didn't realise that.
Jose Mourinho's
Roma.
Wow,
yes.
So that could be some final, even if you get him in the knockout stages. Would be great. We've got to qualify first. We're only 2 games in, but no, maybe looking a little bit ahead. But that'll be interesting. We need to go far in that tournament, really. If you look at the teams around, as I said, there's some good clubs, but we need to go far in that tournament in particular. As I said, the strength of the Premier League, the strength of England right now is almost impossible to predict the cup competitions, the domestic cups. But the league, do you know what? I think I'll be happy with top 8. Because the strength is just there. You've got yourselves, Everton around us, and then the top 4 or 5 is difficult to call in itself. So do you know what? Top 8 wouldn't be a terrible season for us with the squad. I'm a realist, and the squad we have right now, top 8. If we finish 8, I'll be relatively happy.
Fair enough. Well, Tommy, I appreciate your time in coming on the channel. Really is much appreciated. Beyond Sunday's match and up to the point that we lock horns again at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium later on in the season, I wish Tottenham the very best of luck, because if Tottenham have a relatively good season, then things at home are pretty good with my wife. So, but obviously, as far as Sunday's concerned, you'll forgive me if I say I don't wish you any luck in that one, and may the best team win.
Yeah, no luck given. Yeah, we're going to do a stream on mine shortly, and I'm of the same. I'm of the same opinion. Good luck in the future, and do you know what? Good luck in Europa League. But no, for the 2 fixtures we've got you in the Premier League, they're must wins. You're my biggest rival outside Arsenal. Forget Chelsea. You're my biggest rival. So it's key that we get that victory. Oh, well,
appreciate it.
Points a good result.
And don't forget, guys, please do subscribe to Tommy Talks Ball on both YouTube and Twitter. And I thank you very much indeed for your time. Don't forget, guys, drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon to be notified of any new content as and when we upload it to the channel. And Tommy, you'll have to forgive me. I'm going to do my usual sign out, which is come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Spurs.